Again, back to Limbus Company. Canto 1, I guess. Vroom vroom. That's the name of it, just vroom vroom. Okay. Select this button to continue playing through the story. Gotcha. Verge. Blockage ahead. Permission to vroom vroom. Chatter was what finally got me to open my eyes. After all, nothing beats blocking out your sight when you want to keep boredom at bay. Not that there was much else to do on a bus whose destination was unknown to me. My lack of head and memories certainly didn't help either. Alright, let's proceed. Okay, here comes Bumpty Bumps. Expensive washer fluid. Verge said he paid a expensive washer fluid. Verge said he paid a fortune. Clumps stuck to the window gently dissolve, letting light through. Many different set of eyes on the bus are lethargically facing forward. It felt like a pretty gruesome scene, but based on the others' reactions, maybe this kind of violence is common in the city. Hey, it felt rather awkward to close my eyes again now that I was wide awake. That's when the conspicuously bearded man grabbed my attention. But, I mean, glasses know where we're going right now. Feature far more conspicuous than his beard made me slip.
벌레 양반이라고 부르려고 했지?
You almost called me bug guy, didn't you?
다시 한번 말하자면
Once again, my name is Gregor.
당신이 시계
The same way you're called Dante, not Clockface. I couldn't find any excuses, so I gave back a light nod.
기사 양반.
Say, buzz here early, where are we headed? Once again, my name is Charan. The same way you're called Gregor and not bug guy. She got you there, Gregor. She really did. Berg said the sinners will go to District 4. What? How did District 4 fall upon my ears? That place is known to be the home of the Grass Maiden. 'Tis the origin of the heroine's journey, and 'twas the... Bloody hell, you're battling on and on. You just shut up and let the trip go in peace. I had remained silent until mere moments ago. I said shut up. Sorry, did you happen to realize you're being louder here? Even if you can't die, you sure as hell can suffer. No? So say that again. I say the right thing. I say the right thing, and your first response is violence? Shows how refined you are. I contemplated for a second. Should I step in? Is this the part where I exercise my authority as a manager with dignity and grace? Faint memory urges me to do something. I know, guys, it's inadvisable to lose your trenches? Tried against noisy crying hot. It entails scragging. Senseless violence shan't be forgiven. I will bring about justice. Oh, I knew this would happen. Left a spot in my clothes. You guys really have to fight next to me. I must be mad. We haven't even reached our destination, and they've already killed 3 of our own. That is. Can't take a small break without anticipating trouble, can I? You 4 cleaning duty for the next month. Such unfairness. I merely sought the hand of justice. Oh, also, tell them to do my laundry too. Blood doesn't wash off easily, and as wine stains. Sheesh, dry cleaning is costly. No one bats an eye at the lifeless janitors to be littering the floor. Maybe they're already taking their indefinite revivals for granted, but I don't even know exactly how I'm supposed to bring you back. Dante, I'd like you to turn the clock back. Turn the clock. That must mean there's a puzzled face on... That must mean there's a puzzled look where your face should be. I'll keep that in mind. Miss Faust. Virgilus gave Faust a tired nod and gestured to me. She let out a small sigh, but still came to my seat, probably out of a sense of obligation. It's the same thing you did the day we first met, Dante, though I suppose that was more of a instinctual reaction. Now let's try again. Close your eyes. Though I have no eyes to close, blocking out my sight is something I've done. I had no reason not to follow Faust's instructions here. In fact, the door is everywhere. However, only you can see it. For the stars never set in your sky. At that I felt a thread of light creep into my sight. As if to open my eyes, I embraced that light. Then I saw a space. I was alone here, and a massive door stood before me. It wasn't a pleasant sight. Suffocating heat and agonizing cries seeped through the gaps. Hearing endless laments and wailings for even a split second made me feel faint. However, I'm approaching the door, grasping at its handles as if it's what I was born to do. Despite it being seemingly heavy, pulling it open was surprisingly easy. I grope about in the door, thousands upon thousands of last wails lay within. And reaching inside, I grab a few unknown hands. I can feel the histories of different sins bearing their brands crawl up my hand onto my arm. Art thou prepared to share the pain? Could that have been a question, or rather a pressure to comply? I pulled forth the sinner's grasping my hand with all my strength. Terrible pain spreads through my neck and head. It's so crushingly severe it makes me wish I was dead. The indescribable sensation of bone and muscle twisting and tangling with each other goes on for what feels like an eternity. My legs weren't prepared to endure all this agony. I felt a needle atop the pool of blood and darkness. Then I see it. It trembles in the bloody pools, gradually growing into waves and bubbles rising from the floor. Soon, that blood soaking the ground coalesced into three masses. Then the agony seemed to last forever. Then the agony that seemed to last forever vanished just like that. Lumps of blood rose into the air and flew away. My sight was cleared of dreadful redness, returning to the grumbling bus.
목이 베어졌다가 붙어버린 심경은 어떻지?
How does it feel to have your head back after it is severed? Exciting? Right as Heathcliff is restored consciousness, he rubs his neck, mutters vulgar words, and approaches. I can't pronounce your name. Hold on, I just brought you back. And you're going straight into another fight. Heathcliff turns around, glares at me. His eyes are those of a man devoured by blind fury. Isn't it your job to bring us back? If your job's done, then step aside before I knock your dumb clock off. Please, wait, Dante looks like they're in a lot of pain, so maybe we really should... Before he could finish, Heathcliff's steel bat caved in the side of Sinclair's head. The incoherent gurglings of a dying person violated my ears. Next time, clock face your crush, are we clear? You really are as coarse as you look. Was dying once not enough for you? Heathcliff tightens the grip on the bat, and Ishmael is ready to swing her weapon as well. Have I seriously become the manager of people who can't be stopped even by death? I was lost in thought, and all the tension in the bus suddenly dropped and froze
이거
over.
아무래도 제대로
It seems this
교정해둬야겠어.
team is in need of serious discipline. The sinners on a collision course stopped dead in their tracks. A cold pair of red eyes cast their glare between the two.
첫 번째 규칙. 버스
Rule
안에서는
number 1.
무기
Do not let me
부딪히는
hear
소리가
weapons
들리지
clashing
이
inside the
순간
bus.
이후로 이
If any of you
규칙이
break this
깨어지면
rule as of now,
너희는 내게
you're
제발
going to be begging for
죽여달라고.
me to let you to
에원
die.
난 충분히 그럴 수
As
있는
I'm sure
사람이야.
you know I'm
알지?
capable of that and more, right? Sinclair's writhing on the floor was the only sound breaking the silence. Heathcliff glowered? What the fuck does that mean? But couldn't bring himself to argue back.
단테,
Dante,
미안하게
I'm sorry
됐습니다.
about this. I need you to
시계를-
rewind one more time. I have to do that again. I'd rather die than have to bear that harrowing pain once more. I bowed my head in dejection. The faint hint of a smile on Virgil's face vanishes as his expression
내가
shifts.
아직 사과와
You
부탁을
better
하고
open
있을
up
때
while I'm still
문을 여는
feeling
게
generous
좋을
enough to
텐데.
ask and offer
관리자
apologies, Manager
단테.
Dante.
단지
Oh,
아픔이
in
두려운
case you're
거라면
refusing simply because
그래서
you don't
고개를
want more pain, I can
젓는
gladly help you
그
with that.
정도의 고통에는 눈 하나
This
깜빡 안
degree
하게
of pain
말이죠.
will feel like nothing
그럼
by the
견딜 수
time I'm
있지
done.
않겠습니까?
Surely you'll be a tougher person afterwards, right?
내가 잘못 들은 건가?
I hear correctly, I'm
관리자님이
pretty sure
분명
managers
거부
clearly
의사를
declined
내비쳤던 것
your
같은데.
request.
당신
You know, this is not the time
기어드는
to
박자가
step
잘못됐군.
in.
입사할 때 나의
I
상관은
was
네가
informed
아니라
when I joined the
관리자님이라고
company
분명히
that
들었다.
the executive manager would be my superior, not you.
관리자께서 고개를
I would say that the
저었다면
manager has
의미는
made
충분히
themselves clear with
전달되었다고
a shake of the
보는데.
head.
그래
I see.
보호자관께서
So
나서시겠단
their aide has
말인가?
decided to step in, is that it?
그렇다면 보호자관께도
Then it's my turn to make clear what I mean. The red hue of his eyes grew deeper, much to my dread. I don't really know what I'm meant to do as the manager, or even if I deserve to take this role. But I felt that I should at least stop things here so we don't get into an even bigger mess. Reviving one should hurt less than reviving 12 at once. Well, it says I'll rewind the clock. It's alright. Virgilus noticed me motioning her to stand down and withdrew the red glow from his glare as if in mutual understanding.
잘 생각하셨군.
Thinking. As
관리자께서
you wish,
그러시겠다.
manager. Otis seemed to want to add her input, but she promptly backed down and straightened herself out. The red door greeted me again, along with the twisting sensation. I had given up trying to describe the throes I go through. Words can't express it in full anyway.
고맙습니다.
Thank you. I messed up his voice. Thank you very much. Since Sinclair stood up with a pained moan, bowed to me before waddling back to his seat. What a lovely group. They get along real well. I'm sure they'll be happy with each other. I'm sure they're gonna get along really well. Anyways, I'm gonna drink my water real quick. Oh shit! I forgot to set up my timer. Fuck! I need to do that. Oh, that was just reading? That's all I just got to read? Okay. Well, let me set up my timer. Difficulty level 1, clear within 10 turns. I have an energy bar? Huh, okay. You can configure various teams from your 12 Limbus Company centers and their identities. In Center's window, selecting a center's identity portrait will show a list of identities and egos. You can change your team from there. Selecting the All Identities or All Ego button to the right views the full list of identities and egos for sinners, making it easier to design your team loadout. In normal team loadout menus, clicking anywhere on each identity's portrait leads to the Edit Team menu. However, in Battle Encounter team menus, the identity's portraits will be divided into the following two areas. Selecting the upper part of the portrait loads into the Edit Team menu, where you can view and swap out the identities and ego of the selected center. Selecting the lower part of the portrait deploys the center, which means that the center will be taking part in the battle. In this area of the bottom right shows the total number of deployable identities for this battle. You will not be able to edit your team in certain battle encounters, however. In those cases, selecting anywhere on a center's identity portraits will deploy that identity to battle. Select and hold an identity portraits to view the selected identity's detailed information. In the Detailed Identity Info menu, you can view more information about the selected identity and any of its equipped egos. Select the Announcer button on the left to view a list of announcers. Select the magnifier icon at the bottom, each announcer, to view their voice lines for each situation. Select from a list of keywords to choose a name for your team loadout. You can create up to 20 teams. Team details. By selecting the detailed information to view the following information: all identities, skill attack types, sin affinities, and equipped ego resources. On the right panel, you can view the general overview for that overview for types and amounts of ego resources your current team can gain. Ego resources. Selecting the right panel to view the identities that gain the selected ego resources and ego that use them. Team codes. You can copy and paste the team code or paste it to the team loadout. Reset the currently selected team. You can select the support identities that your friends have registered here. Copy code. Copy the team code for the currently selected team loadout and paste. Deploying backup units. In normal battles, you cannot deploy more centers than the participant limit, indicated in the bottom right counter. However, in chain battles, you can deploy backup units in addition to participating units. When a unit is defeated mid-battle, the backup unit will substitute in to fill their place. In chain battles, the battle will not end in defeat until all units selected for the battle encounter, both participating and backup units, are defeated. When a participating unit is killed, backup units will be substituted into the field in order of their deployment. When the backup unit substituted into battle, they enter with bonus SP based on the starting SP values defined by their deployment orders. Certain chain battles may give additional buffs for backup units. Please experiment with deployment orders and strategize prior to chain battles to gain an edge. In chain battles, SP loss due to an ally death is listed in the base factors. Increasing/decreasing sanity will not activate. If an ally is defeated mid-encounter, a backup unit with the earliest deployment order will replace them. This is called substitution or a substitute. When a deployed unit is defeated, its support passive will activate instead of its combat passive. When a backup unit substitute is in, its combat passive will activate instead of its support passive. In chain battles, the indicator that shows the number of waves shows the total number of enemies and the number of defeated enemies instead. However, this indicator does not take into account the extra enemies that are summoned due to certain conditions.
흥미로운 일이 벌어지면 좋겠어요.
A lot of reading.
질문이 있네.
Pardon me, I have a question. Don Quickso suddenly raises her hand. Shoot.
첫 번째 규칙은 이해가
Verily, I
돼.
understand that the
그럼
first.
두 번째는 무엇인가?
Verily, I understand the first rule well. What is the second rule then? Really, why are you so eager to learn that? Virgilus gave a cold stare to who had just lit her cigarette. She looked back at him with a peculiar
두
face.
번째 교체
Number
버스
2.
바닥에
Don't litter up the
담배
bus
꽁초
floor
버리지
with
마.
cigarettes, they leave burn marks.
잠깐
Bus falls silent again.
버스에 정적이
No,
흐르면 안
wait a
되지.
second. The bus shouldn't be
Engine
this
소리는
quiet.
어디
Where's the
갔나?
engine's roar?
결혼
John, why aren't you speeding up?
밥이 없어.
No food. Matthew's
미키가
hungry.
배고파.
잘 됐군.
Good. We can
분위기를
use
좀
something to lift
환기시키자.
the mood. Are we dropping by a gas station? The idea of Virgil's casually plugging in a fuel nozzle into a bus like this, that, like an average driver, felt alien.
차가 움직이려면
A car needs to move
연료
around.
켜는
Charon, try flashing the
헤드라이트를
headlights a bit,
깜빡거려봐.
like stage lights.
댄스 타임이야.
It's dancing time.
잠깐. 헤드라이트까지 켜면
Wait, if we do that, we'll
좋은
effectively
상황이잖아.
be asking to be attacked.
그걸 노린 거군.
That appears to be the intent.
네?
Sorry?
에이! 가진 거 다 놓고 내려.
Wait, leave all your stuff behind and get off. You got 30 seconds. 10. No, that's not 30.
20에
Hey, you skipped 20 of them.
그럼
Well, say your prayers for the other
기도를 하고
20. Why am I surrounded by dullards left and right?
뭐라고 했냐?
What'd you just say?
비겁하게 습격을
How
하다니.
cowardly of them to ambush us. They must be villains without a shadow of a doubt.
자,
Alright, everyone
다들
off.
내려. 그리고 말이야.
And one more thing, we want them near death, not dead. Got it? Okay. Mauling people time. Chaining multiple skills with the same affinity color in the same turn will activate what's known as resonance. Connect. Chaining 2 or more skills with the same affinity in the same turn will activate with what is known as resonance. So what does resonance do?
표정에 따라 실행합니다. 다음 판단을 부탁합니다.
Chaining three or more adjacent skills with the same affinity activates absolute resonance. Try activating absolute resonance using these skills. I have no clue what you're saying, but okay. Absolute resonance. Chaining 3 or more adjacent skills with the same affinity in the same turn will activate what is known as absolute resonance. Activating resonance slightly enhances the affected skills based on the number of skills linked in the resonance chain. Skills closer to the right end of the dashboard receive greater boosts. Activating absolute resonance guarantees that every skill in the resonance chain receives this boost. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's just more of the same color, do more damage.
늘 새롭다니까요.
순조로운 전략입니다. 좋은 전략입니다.
당연한 결과죠.
Each unit has a unique passive. Select files to
무슨
view
일인가요,
passive.
관리자님?
Skills, passive. Deal 10% more damage to units who have negative status effects. Okay. Please activate the resonance passive by activating resonance for the necessary affinity. Faust's passive requires 2 or more Pride Indigo resonance.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
좋은 전략입니다.
Let us take a look at a different type of passive. These icons in the top left corner of the screen show the list of available passives. Select Mersault's icon highlighted here. Consider Mersault's passive as an own passive. Own passives activate automatically each turn, provided that you have enough ego resources to meet the requirement. Okay. This passive requires that you own 2 sloth yellow resources. Use a skill to gain ego resources corresponding to that skill's affinity, viewable here. Since we gathered enough sloth yellow ego resources in the previous turn, the own passive is already active. Currently active passives will be highlighted. Support passives, centers that have been sufficiently upgraded canvases. Centers that have been sufficiently upgraded can assist the deployed centers through their support passives. Support passives, like regular passives, have resonance and owned conditions. Oh, are you actually just... Okay, cool, it's just letting me do stuff for once.
명령대로 하겠습니다. 좋은 전략입니다. 좋은 전략입니다. 관리자님의 99% 명령과 1%의 제 실력이 합쳐진 결과였습니다.
Okay. The bus deck. Select 2 battle to begin the encounter with the currently deployed
따라갈
centers.
준비는 끝났습니다.
With a guttural noise, the side of the bus lurches and splits open. A number of human shapes littered the ground before its maw. Some were still conscious, while others weren't exactly in one piece. The bus began devouring those served to it in the most literal sense, gluttonously and voraciously. Raishu watched with a satisfied expression, seemingly determined to savor every moment. While in the corner of my eye, Sinclair was clearly distressed.
제정신이 아닌 것
They all
같아요.
look like they're out of their minds. Don't you think so too? His reaction got me curious to know their stories. Just make sure none of you were forced to join, right? Though what I was involved in before my head's change is a mystery, I myself was practically forced to join the company, judging from what I know at the moment. And maybe they aren't so different from me, or so I thought when, Sinclair's head dropped in response, as if like I'd struck a
그래요.
nerve. That's
맞아요.
right, it was by
이건
choice,
제
I'll get
선택이죠.
used to all this, right? He muttered as if he were talking to someone other than me.
입사하지 않았어도 했을 일이요.
Tis what I would have
저기!
done, even
또
if the
악의
company
무리가 달려드네!
recruited me not. Look, yon horde of evil approaches. Oh great, more people to kill. In addition to attack skills, each unit also has defense skills. Lightly tap the center's portrait at the bottom of the board to swap their skills with a defense skill. First, let's try selecting center's more portrait to generate a guard skill. Defensive skills guard. Use the guard skill to gain a shield equal to its power. Damage will be absorbed by the shield first before affecting the unit's HP. Okay. Now select Fuss portrait to generate an evade skill. Defensive skills. Evade. When using evade skill, if its final power is greater or equal to that of the enemy's skill, the unit will completely ignore the enemy's attack, taking no damage from it. Evade skills flip their coin once for every enemy coin flip. Warning: if an evade type defense skill's final power is lower than the enemy's attack, it will fail, and the enemy attack will strike with full force. Finally, let's select Heathcliff's portrait to generate a counter. Defensive skills counter. Counter skills allow the enemy to strike first, then perform an unopposed attack against the attacker. Warning: if the unit is staggered by the enemy's attack, the counter will not activate. Gotcha. Lightly tap their portraits again to disable the abilities. Let us demonstrate the effects of each defensive skill in this battle. Chain the defensive skills, then start the combat phase.
먼저 간다.
When used under the right circumstances, defense skills can be even more effective than clashing or attacking enemies. However, poorly timed use of these skills can put centers at great risk. Also, please note that centers will not select their defense skill unless you personally issue a direct command. keep this in mind when using the auto skill chaining function. So, your counter, I like your counter.
먼저 간다.
행동을 개시합니다.
Ooh, that looked like it hurt. God damn. Fucking hell, he hits hard with that fucking bat. Ooh.
행동을 개시합니다.
다음 판단을
오.
부탁합니다.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
표정에 따라 실행합니다.
쉽네.
Ooh.
쉽네.
God damn.
보여? 마구잡이로 때려 부숴놨지.
Manager level increase. Don't know how to pronounce that. Capacity up. Has been refilled. Holy shit, dude, you actually did well. What's this? Clear within 10 turns, enemy info unknown, difficulty 1, yeah. Oh, I get to actually change them out now? I get to actually change them out now? Yay! I get to change them. I kind of want to use you. You're kind of interesting looking. So what if I swap you out and put
예술을
you in?
보여주지.
Because you actually look really fascinating.
그럴듯한 예술이라면 더 좋을 텐데 말이야.
Yeah, I've been wanting to use the...
배부르게 밥을 먹은 지가 언제더라.
Gee, when was the last time I had a feast? Even a big blocky machine eats better than we do.
제공되는 식사는
Do mind that all meals are provided with appropriately determined
그
quantities.
정도 먹어서는 기운이
It's
안
not
난단
nearly
말이야.
enough to get me going. I thought I heard Heathcliff shout. You think I'm doing this stuff on a full stomach in the distance, but Roy does seem to pretend she heard nothing. Speaking of, does this bus run on stuff like blood or protein?
엔케팔린이에요.
It's Ingefale, an energy source lobotomy corporation treated.
이전 엘사 말이군요.
I mean the previous L-Corp. I heard it produces energy using singularities, though all that remains of the though all that remains now of the company is rubble. That's right, which is why it's become a rarity to see these days. However, Mephiles is capable of forcibly extracting from the body. The body? I posed a question, watching Otis give orders to the other sinners, then glancing to the maw of the bus in turn. Correct, Ingefale can be extracted from the brain and the spinal nerves. It can be taken from live subjects for greater efficiency. So that's why Virgilus told the sinners not to kill the assailants. Okay, and
그럼 해당 부위만 먹여도 되는 거예요?
If why the rest of their body is what you're thinking, there is a point, as their blood and flesh can also be processed into fuel. While ink fuel is used to generate ignition and thrust, the remaining organic matter is spent on maintaining speed, thus reducing usage.
하이브리드요.
A hybrid. Faust went on to explain how most of the vehicle's fuel is taken from the branch facilities, and that it won't be a sufficient source on its own. But most of it went in one ear and out the other. Well, that's complicated. I got that it's tough work at least. I get that it's tough work at least. Don't mention it. Faust knows no struggle.
고생은
If anyone's going to do the heavy lifting, it'd be us. Hey, manager bud, more incoming. Adjusting density of information on the screen during combat. At the top of this is a button that adjusts the amount of information displayed. The three options displayed minimum, medium, or maximum respectively. The maximum information display configuration is the default setting applied when first starting the game. More information is shown compared to the other two settings. Details on keywords used in skills are shown as well. Medium information display configuration. In this setting, detail on keywords used in skills will not be shown, otherwise its function is the same as the maximum setting. The minimum display configuration in this setting, information on effects and keyword skills will not be displayed. Okay, cool. I'm keeping it on max then. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, if we do that, and then do that. Let's see how well this does.
폭들을 제거하겠소. 저층 낙엽하오.
Oh shit, he's fucking dead.
좋은 전략이네요.
Boink.
가보죠.
Ooh, that had to hurt.
폭의 거울은
And he's fucking dead. Okay, cool. Wave 2. Let's see. A lot of purple. Yeah, that's gonna hurt a lot.
좋은 전략이네요. 가보죠. 적을 난파시켰습니다.
저층
Oof.
낙엽하오. 폭의 거울은 깨졌소.
힘쉽구만.
God damn.
당연한 결과죠.
If 2 plus skills are in the same strength
복사에
in your
대한
attacks.
대가구려. 시들어가는 것 같소.
I'm gonna check how long I've been recording real quick. Give me a moment. Okay. Yuri. What's this? Pocket watch. Everyone has their own timepiece with varying time scales. Time that goes by quickly, time that lingers. The hours are always misaligned. Why is his portrait like kind of gray? You good, bro? All right, let's see how this goes.
그럴듯한 예술이라면 더 좋을 텐데 말이야.
어이, 적당히
Hey,
끝내.
that's enough of that.
곧
We're expecting a
손님이
guest
방문할
anytime
거야.
now. Virgil said, poking his head out the window. A guest? Who?
처음으로 가는 던전이니까 기회잡이가 필요할 것 같아서요.
I've determined that we'll need a guide as the first trip to a dungeon.
저 혹시 림버스 컴퍼니에서
Excuse me,
오신
are you
분들
the people
맞나요?
from Limbus company? Someone approaches us
맞나
slowly.
보네요.
Looks like it. The bus had just about finished its meal, crunching the last remaining bone chips. Yuri watched indifferently before introducing herself.
예전 엘사에서 근무했던 유리예요.
I'm Yuri,
잘 부탁합니다.
employee of the previous L Corp. I look forward to working with you. By L Corp, do you mean? Has to be Lobotomy Corporation.
우리는
That's right.
로보토미
We'll
코퍼레이션.
explore the former branches of the facility of the lobotomy. Blah, blah. The former branch facilities of Lobotomy Corporation, also called the Old L
저라면
Corp.
불러도 절대 안 왔을 것
If I were
같은데.
you, I wouldn't have taken part in this.
수락한
Being a
날개라니.
fallen wing and everything, I
끝이 좋지
doubt your
않았을 텐데요.
employment ended on pleasant
무슨
terms.
소리야? 나에게
What are you on-
그리고
what are you all on
돈만
about?
함께라면
Any
뭐든
point in your
유쾌한
life
기억이
can be
된다고.
pleasant as long as you've got money to spend.
거기는
Or
아직도
those places are still
괴물로
teeming with
소문이
monstrosities to this
괴물이
day.
아니라 환상체요.
No monsters,
어쨌든
abnormalities.
사실이에요.
The rumors are true either way,
하지만
but there
더
are more
중요한
important
것들이
matters.
지구 가장 깊숙한 곳에
In the deepest reaches of these
최근에
branches
피어나기
are
시작한
neoplastic plant-like
기술의
growths
핵심
holding the
정수가
essence of
존재해요.
L Corp's technology.
단테 며칠
Dante,
전에
if you
내가
remember, I
제안했던 걸
believe I offered you to
기억합니까?
let you finish engraving your
성의를 새기게
aspect a few
해줄
days
거라고
ago.
정수.
With the essence
황금가지를
these golden
모아온다면
grows in our hands,
그
it'll be as
정도는
easy as
어려운-
pie. The word aspect still makes my head ache. What was I trying to
억지로
do?
떠올리려고 할 필요는 없습니다.
There's
그때가
no
되면
need to rouse your brain trying to
전부
remember what you
알게 될
can't.
테니까요.
It'll all come back in due time. I returned to slow nod to Faust's placid advice. Alright, for now I should focus on what I currently know and can see. And if it's Lobotomy Corp we're scouring, we might find some ink fill-in too. Ink fill-in?
그러면
Oh,
더 이상
does that mean we won't have to feed
사람들을
people to our vehicle?
거기다가
We could also
운이
grab some
좋으면
ego if we're lucky.
애고까지 얻을
So
테니.
that's 3 rats with 1
일석삼.
stone. I don't think that's the term. Ego, that's another unknown term. Makes my head tilt. But in any case, it seemed rather rude to keep talking to each other when we've had a guest on board. And someone else seemed to agree.
유리 씨는
So,
무슨 일 하고
Miss Yuri,
지냈나?
what have you been up to since the layoff? Grigor gave his best shot at making some conversation with a well-meaning smile to put the newest passenger at ease. His brows seemed to twitch due to a lack of practice, but it's no big deal. It appears to me that thou art an honorable fixer. It is said that all fixers exude the noble scent of heroes. What the fuck are you saying? As Yuri was nodding lightly, I heard Ishmael let out a deep sigh.
어디서
Don't know
그런
who
소식을
gave you that
들었는지
idea, but fixers are
모르겠지만
anything but noble or heroic. The
해결사는
only
그런
scent you
영웅들이
smell is
아니에요.
miserable stink of wage slaves. You
소라.
should probably shut
다른
the fuck
밥벌이
up.
찾는 게 쉽진 않았을 텐데.
It could have been
이렇게
easy to find another job so soon. Good that you're holding up.
아직은
For now, I'm
계약직이에요.
just a contract worker.
아하.
Ah,
굳이
that
다시
explains
이곳으로
why you've decided to
기어들어온
crawl back
이유도
here.
그 예전 직장으로 돌아가서 크게 한탕이라도 치면
Did they promise to promote you to team leader or something if you stuck gold in your former workplace?
실적을
My
세우면
contracts might
계약 기간은
my
늘어날지도
contracts
모르죠.
might get extended if I return with results.
그렇지.
Right, a
보통
good
계약
result is
시절은
something
실적한에 목숨을 걸어야 할 때니까.
to risk your life for if you want to earn a permanent spot.
아, 그거 참
What a futile
부질없는
life that
일이지.
is.
아까부터 왜 이렇게
Hey, what's with the sarcasm? Is something a problem?
글쎄요.
I don't know.
처음부터
I have a problem with every
끝까지
single thing I'm hearing
Wow.
right now. Seemingly unaffected by the abrasive attitude, Yuri quietly took an empty seat. Looking back and forth between the two, Grigor returned to his seat as well as scratching his head. I can't seem to get used to being around these
빨리
people.
배워두는 편이 편할
It
겁니다.
will be
단테.
beneficial for you to adapt to them sooner or later, Dante.
그럼 출발.
Sharon, time to go on. Our
손님께서
guests have taken their
자리한-
seat.
PPP.
Effie's turn.
칼은 더
Revived. Charon's ring to drive. I'm gonna get that one. Sorry. I'm gonna get that one's way of talking down soon. Try being a bit more careful with your health. No, I mean... This is pretty funny. I love how much personality is in this fucking game, genuinely. Like genuinely, this game just
행동을 개시합니다.
like has so much personality coming from it. It's really nice to see. Ah, God, why does my throat just? I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck is stuck in my throat today. Red. Actually, hang on. If I go here, I can. Yeah, there we go.
좋은 전략이네요. 가보죠.
셔츠는 악역.
당연한 결과.
폭의 거울은 깨졌어.
I know some of my friends who've played this game way longer. Some of my friends who've probably played this game longer than me would probably scream at me if I said this game's combat just at the moment kind of seems to just be match color with color. And also, you know, use the defensive skills occasionally, but I don't think I should have to use them too much in the starting area if I had to guess.
적들을 제거하겠어.
Who knows, maybe I'll get surprised later.
당연한 결과죠.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff that matches. That's gonna hurt.
행동을 개시합니다.
폭의 거울은 깨졌어. 폭의 거울은
God damn! Holy shit! You fuck him up with that little dagger, dude!
복사에 대한 대가구려. 시들어가는 것 같소.
Map.
하라고? 나? 뭐 최소.
저 근데
Sorry to ask,
지도는 제게
but
있는데요.
if I have the map,
길은
how
어떻게
do you
알고
know
가는 건가요?
what roads to take? Answerless, the bus keeps speeding along
그건
anyways.
말이지.
We do have something to lead us.
아니지. 칼은 내 칼.
Intuition, Charon's intuition.
그래?
What?
분홍머리.
Pinky hair explain why you keep rubbing that odd paper in Charon's face. Because you keep going in weird directions. Take a look at this map. Our destination is to the southeast of here. Charon reluctantly gives the map a curious glance as she couldn't ignore the thing right in front of her eyes. Follow the heart, that's where the true path lies. Here, we must follow as our hearts lead. You're just admitting that you can't read a map.
제가 하고 싶은 말을 대신해
You took
주실
the words
줄이야.
right out of my mouth. Yuri and Ishmael pulled a palm over their respective faces at the same time, almost like they were in sync. Ooh, did our driver make a new friend? Pinky keeps on blabbering, I know the way.
아니 그러니까 방향이 잘못.
No, I mean you're going the wrong direction. Look ahead, more obstacles. Do I have room?
아니 카론.
No, John, wait 1 second. Okay, nice bus you got there. Why don't you give me a ride?
피스토 팰레스에 후식
Yes, my
시간이
fellows could use a
모양이군.
helping of dessert.
아직
Get
밥을
on
더
down, it
먹여야겠어.
needs to be fed just a bit more. Oh my god, I can tell I'm gonna love this game already. Okay, let's see what we got here. Green, green, blue.
좋아, 간다.
난파시켰습니다.
Damn. Damn. Holy shit, that's a lot of. Oh my goodness gracious.
좋은
That's gonna
전략이네요.
hurt.
폭의
가보죠.
거울은 깨졌어.
Get him! Get him! Get him, Dagger dude!
적을 난파시켰습니다.
Stab. God! What is that little dagger fucking made out of? Holy shit, that thing fucks him up. I'd like a dagger that could just make someone fucking explode. Okay, that should kill him.
좋은 전략이네요. 가보죠.
Holy shit, that fucking dagger, dude! It just fucking kills him! Holy shit, that's a lot of clashing. Oh shit, that dude's a butt!
끝났어.
Sorry, no offense to you, Gregor. No offense to you, Gregor, you're not a bug. You're, a carapist friend. Yeah, just go kill the bad guys.
행동을 개시합니다.
Oh shit, dagger guy, get him! God damn, that fucking dagger dude! Holy shit!
가라앉는군요.
And they're fucking dead. Units can fall into a state of panic when their sanity falls below a certain threshold. Dude, your fucking dagger screws people up so badly! Is that dagger guy? I think that's dagger guy. I can't tell, I don't think that's dagger guy. Alright, I think I've got time for one more bout, and then I've gotta go head out.
따라갈 준비는 끝났습니다.
God, this fucking artwork.
카론.
Now, Charon, tell me, is this east or west? Charon only knows two direction, Mephie's front and Mephie's back. How did you come so far when the driver has zero sense of direction?
그러니까요.
Charon, like I said, the sun rises from at the driver's seat. Three heads gathered together over a map. Well, one of them might have been at a slightly different elevation from the others. Chiquita, are you gonna join them too? I beg your pardon, I am no child, I am most certainly not little. Watching Don Quixo's shake her fist sky high at Roida, I noticed a bitter gaze falling upon them from out of the corner of my view. I'm starting to think that Urigal might have put up with a rough childhood. Gregor turned around to take a glance in my direction, then shook his head and went back to looking at the driver's side with his chin resting on his hand. Wouldn't be the youngest side either. Some nests used to conscript anyone old enough to hold a knife. A nest was basically the center of a district, if my memory is correct. Sounds like Nest used to get into wars with one another in the past. Did that happen often? Not frequently, but it sure as hell did happen. Interested in learning about wars, Manager Bud? Oh, I'm not really curious about the details, just gathering information I should know as the manager. I was about to go on, a glimpse of Gregor's expression I caught from the side stopped me in my tracks. His eyes seemed to be fixed on somewhere far more distant than the driver's seat. Don't get me wrong, Manager Bud, I'm not trying to criticize you or anything. Heck, it's actually a pretty stand-up attitude for a boss, I'd say. He slowly continued, taking a pack of cigarettes from his pocket. Still, ignorance is a gift you should savor while you have it, if you ask me. Once you're burdened with knowledge, there's no going back. Without another word, he lit his cigarette. No, you should have turned right at that intersection. It's okay, Jarn. We can turn around at the next junction. The woes of a driver. Well, looks like we have more pressing matters at hand. Ain't that right, Manager Bud? Gurk cackled with a cigarette smoke still in his mouth. I was still curious to learn what he'd been through, but he's right that I should focus on other things for now. An urgent matter showed up right before our bus-shaped doorstep too. Enough squabbling, more enemies inbound. You shoved my pals into that bus, you sick bastards! Are you nuts? You'll pay for this. We're just gonna leave. Even with the bus, but I gotta see you all bleed.
연료들이 시끄러워.
Verg fuel is making a fuss.
이상
Tron will get
시끄러우면
dizzy if
어지러워.
many mouths are being noisy.
걱정할 필요 없다, 카론.
Nothing
이제부터
to worry
조용해질
about, Tron.
테니.
They'll shut their mouths soon
Tron,
enough. Off the
가자.
bus. Ah, this fucking game. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Nothing matching.
좋은 전략이네요. 가보죠.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Ooh! That should do
적들을
well.
제거하겠어.
Get him, dagger guy!
폭의 거울.
당연한 결과죠.
아름답진 않네.
Let's see how this
적들을
goes.
제거하겠어.
God damn! Holy shit, he got fucking liquidated. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna hurt.
적들을 제거하겠어.
적을 난파시켰습니다.
깨졌어.
걸어놓는군요.
깨졌어.
자, 다시
Oh,
지도를
okay, let's
보자고요.
look at the map again.
카론, 딴좀 피우면 안
Sharon, can you
된다니까요.
please focus? Looking at the tree go while referring the map again, a question arose in my mind. By the way, this bus was specifically made for Limbus Company, right? It was made
저희들만을 위한 버스라고
exclusively for
해야겠네요.
us, to be more precise. Isn't that basically what I said?
그게 그 뜻 아니냐고.
You appear to be
생각하고
failing
계신
to
것 같네요.
identify the nuance. That's weird. I don't think I spoke that part out loud. Is clock broken or
그
something?
정도는 째깍이지 않아도 알 수 있어요.
I can tell that much without hearing it verbalized.
파우스트는
There is
모르는
nothing
것이
that
없으니까요.
Faust doesn't know after all. Anyways, it must have taken a long while to get out of the oven, especially with that mouth on the side.
예상한 만큼 걸려서
It only took the
만들었을
expected
뿐이에요.
amount of time. That doesn't... you know what? Yeah, you're right. She's downright impressive to talk to.
파우스트는 천재예요.
Faust is a well-renowned
모든 것을
genius.
알고
She
있죠.
knows the ins and outs of the city.
어이,
Oi, if you
그렇게
want so...
뛰어나시다면 저
Oh, if you're
앞에
so
가서
smart, why don't you
길부터
help
찾아주지 그래?
those twits at the
아까부터
driver's side figure out
저것들이
the way?
시끄러워서 잠을 못
Can't sleep a
자겠잖아.
wink with their constant bickering.
파우스트는 오지랖쟁이가 아니에요.
Faust is no meddler. She
것에는
answers two
묻지도 않은
questions,
것을
but
말하지는
doesn't
않아요.
chime in without being asked
그리고
first.
인간이
Additionally, there's no
무언가를
greater
깨닫기
joy
위해
for a human than
골똘한
being
고민을 하는 것.
to ponder on
즐거운
problems in
일이랍니다.
order to grasp an answer. Faust would rather
파우스트는
not spoil that delight.
뭘 골똘히 고민을 해봤어야
He
공감을
wouldn't
하죠.
get it. I doubt he's to ponder anything ever. I saw Heathcliff's grip on the Bat Titan, however. With Virgilus casting a glare his way, he clicked his tongue as he crossed his arms and forced his eyes shut. I wonder why they're so vitriolic. You and me both, Manager Bud. You and me both. McGregor snickers, the bus started again.
복사에 대한 대가구려. 시들어가는 것 같소.
Okay, I feel like that's enough for the second bout of this. I'm gonna be honest, I really wanted to keep playing this game, so I recorded the second part like the same day as the first, so I may sound a little tired throughout this entire recording, but yeah, I'll see you nerds again at some later point. Bye-bye.